Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I just wanted to show you a little bit behind the scenes to demonstrate how I was able to sonify my heartbeat. And I'll do another follow up video showing you how I sonified my cat's purr. So, the main ingredient in this is this digital stethoscope called Stemoscope. I just got my hands on this, and it's a really cool device. And I was able to strap it to my body and allow it to be funneled into Ableton Live, where I'm able to use some Max for Live devices to actually control MIDI notes in virtual instruments with this audio input from the stethoscope. So one thing you'll have to do is you'll want to connect your, I'm using an iPhone, so I'm connecting it with the plug to the computer. And I'm using it, I have it enabled in my MIDI audio settings. I have it enabled as a microphone input. So then when I'm inside of Ableton Live, I can then choose to use my iPhone as the audio input. So this allows me to use the Stemoscope app and have my heartbeat being recorded and then passing it through Ableton Live. So let's cut over to Ableton Live now. And I'm just playing back a recording I did previously of my heartbeat during a live performance. And we're going to just start off with this. So I had the Stemoscope hooked up, and just to show you in the preferences, you can come over here, and when you have your iPhone connected, it will show up as a device in your audio input device option here. And then you want to make sure that's chosen. And then the next step, what you'll want to do is make sure you've downloaded a couple of Max for Live devices. They are notably called Peaks, Notes, and these other ones are Trig.me, Receive, and Send. And I'll just show you how I use those in just a second here. So on this heartbeat audio track that you have being fed by the Stemoscope, what you're going to want to do on here is I have two instances of peaks set up here, but you just need to start with one. I'll show you why I have two set up in a moment, but you just need this one down here. And so you'll just drag it in, and then you just have to adjust a couple of parameters here. So I'm choosing the track called VSTs as my input here. Or I guess it's not an input actually, but that's just where I'm targeting this. And then the device here, I have it set to receive, and I'll show you why in a second. To this trig me receive. And then I'm choosing the parameter, which is pitch. And so why these options were chosen, I'll show you here. On this is a MIDI track that I have set up. Got a lot of things on here, but what I want you to focus on is this receive trigger here. And so that's what we're pointing this to. So since it's on the track VSTs, we'll choose that as the track, and the device that I'm using there is the receive, and the option that I'm wanting to use is pitch and not device on. Okay, so I've got that going on, and what you'll see here is this pitch on this receive knob here is reacting to my heartbeat recording. And so the higher the volume of the heartbeat and the differences in tempo that change, you'll see that reflected in how this alters. And so then you're free to set up your MIDI instruments. I'm using an instance of Contact and an instrument that I made that I was just calling Pure Cascades. And it's just basically a sine wave with a harp glissando script. And I've got a little triangle as well. And we'll just start off with the triangle. So yeah, now that the heartbeat is triggering these notes on a triangle instrument that I've got set up here. And this isn't like a super fancy soundscape that I've got set up here, but just something to get us started. So I got that going on, and then I've got this other instrument, the sine waves. You can see how it's traveling through here to the MIDI notes. And some extra little filtering things that I've got going on. So going back to that second instance of peaks. So you can set up as many of these as you like to control as many instruments or whatever you want to do. But I've got another one set up here. And I'm directing it to the same track, and this time I'm choosing this harp device that I really like, another Max for Live plugin that I found called Harp. And so it's got this cool hand that kind of strums through the notes being played in a really cool way that I like. And so what I've done is I've automated this hand function that's strumming the notes from over here. So I've chosen it as the device, and then the parameter that I chose from the harp device was the hand function. You see that happening right there. And then I put a little Locrian mode scale in C in front of it so that the notes that are being played have some kind of harmonic meaning and aren't just free flowing across the keyboard. And then a really cool thing that I like to do with this Pure Cascades instrument is turn on the glissando. And so, yeah, I really like the combination of this harp device, the way that it plays and strums in collaboration with the glissando is just amazing. That's something I've been looking for in my filtering techniques for a long time, and I just found it recently. So yeah, you're welcome to use that. I find it really useful. So there we have it. We have a heartbeat being fed into these MIDI tracks and sonified. Now you can pull the heartbeat down, turn it off, and just have the instruments playing. Or you can, I kind of like keeping that rhythm, the heartbeat rhythm, softly going in the background. But yeah, you're welcome to experiment with all of that if you want to get involved in sonifying your heartbeat or whatever in this way. And then there's lots of these parameters that you can adjust on here that will adjust the threshold for how much, like the peaks basically of the audio that will trigger the notes. So I can adjust this, for instance. And it just, yeah, it'll adjust the threshold of what it's translating. So you can find a sweet spot. If something's too active, you can dial it in and find fewer notes, vice versa. So yeah, that's the Heartbeat Sonification workshop. Really brief, just give you a really quick glimpse into how it's done. And I'm confident that you can pull it off as well. So yeah, if you make some music like this, definitely feel free to share it with me, point me in the direction of it. If you have some files up online or whatever, always down to check out music made this way. So thanks for making space to listen, and join the Drift Patreon if you haven't already. And thank you so much to the patrons in there. Appreciate all your support. All right. Thank you, everybody.